What's up, folks? Be patient with us a little bit. We still getting set up here. So we just getting all our cameras online. So just be a little patient with us as soon as I get this. Go video. I thought it was one of these down here. Maybe not. Just be a little patient with us. We'll be going live here shortly. Do you remember which one? I thought it was one of these down here.
I know video, you can record a video of yourself.
Well, the live, that's the one.
Did it go live?
Yeah, we did live. Well, see if you can handle that one. And I'm gonna adjust this one up here. Just be a little patient with us, fellas, and we'll be starting here shortly. This is episode number 3 of the Wright Flow Show. One thing we kind of flipped it around a little bit because I got some comments about the video quality. So we flipped it around a little bit so we can, okay, we're live on Facebook. We're going to be starting the Wright Flow Show here shortly. We're just trying to coordinate. Okay. Well, I guess, yeah. Okay, let's see. We get coordinated here. This is all about coordination. Trying to get all the cameras lined up perfectly. Okay, here we go. This is episode number 3 of the Wright Flow Show. I would like to start off with some music, but I guess Facebook and YouTube, they don't like the music in the background if you haven't written it. It's all good. So as always, if you have any real estate questions, anything you want to ask, go ahead and give us a call. We're taking live calls, 765-400-2768. And my name is Armand Wright, and I'm right here with Samantha Rick.
Hi.
AKA Sam.
Yep.
Her real name is Sam. A couple of things I want to touch on at the very beginning, like we're talking about the path of home ownership. So if you know of anyone, or if you yourself, if you don't have a house in your name and you're looking to buy a house, reach out to us, 765-400-2768, and we'll go over the new program that we started called the Path to Home Ownership. Another thing that I wanted to go over, right before Christmas, I did a special where I was going to teach people how to buy and sell houses without using none of your own money, none of your own credit, and 4 people signed up for that. So that's over as of now, but we have 4 people who signed up for that. And if those individuals have to be watching this or watching the replay of it, I will be getting in contact with you guys shortly and just kind of go over everything that that it's going to take to be a part of that. And what we're going to be doing is posting the results, the progress from the people on YouTube, and probably share it out on Facebook and Instagram as well. But basically, we're calling it the Wright Teen Chronicles. So basically, you're going to see students going through my coaching program, and we'll be posting that up on YouTube and Facebook, so you guys can kind of follow along from the guys coming from the very, very beginning of wherever they at in real estate. You'll be able to track them from the very, very beginning all the way up through to making money. So I think that's going to be pretty exciting. It's just something I just thought I'd just throw out there to kind of give back, just to show people that you can start this business no matter whatever your situation is. You can start it and make some money with it. So this week, Samantha is going to be interviewing me and just, asking a few questions. But if you guys got any questions about real estate, you can just chime in. And so I'm going to hand it over to Sam so she can interview me. But if you guys got any questions, you can post your questions, call in with questions. We're here to help. You can ask, pretty much anything. So we'll get started.
So First of all, what is your name and what type of business are you in?
My name is Armand Wright, and I just lost one of my cameras. Hold on one second. I'm going to answer the question. I'm a multitask. Answer the question and adjust the camera. How about that? Sorry for you folks there on Instagram. We trying to multitask here. But my name is Armand Wright. I'm into property management, and also I'm a real estate coach, and I'm a real estate broker here in Indiana.
How did you get started?
I got started in the business about 15 years ago. I was inspired by my granddad. My grandfather, he had two rental properties, one that he lived in, but he rented out part of the home. So I just thought it was just an amazing thing. I was just watching him, how he went about handling the business. And that's what inspired me to get started in the business.
And are you originally from Indiana and from Anderson, or where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. Special shout out to the Mud Hens, the Rockets. Yes, I graduated from University of Toledo, Ole Toledo.
And so tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, I have 4 kids. My oldest, military vet, very proud of him of that. Oldest son is military vet. Oldest daughter, she's a minister, very, very well traveled. She travels around right now. She's in Europe. She gets around. Then next down that is my daughter. She's currently working and trying to get her own little business started. And then my youngest Armand Jr. is aspiring to be a doctor. He's a little fella. He got big plans, great ideas, very good student. So keep up the good work. All things is possible.
Awesome. Now, can you give us a little bit of advice for the masses here as far as how to getting started in business, how to run a basic business in general, like how to handle customers and clients and stuff like that?
Well, that's one thing that we pride ourselves on as far as here at the Wright team. Samantha, she's a minister, and my oldest daughter, she's very religious. She's a minister as well. And it's just all about, you treat people in a manner that you want to be treated. And as far as in life in general, that just worked out pretty well for me. I was a correction officer for many years, and to have different people with different styles. Some people go around want to be big badass, and that tends not to work out because there's always somebody bigger and badder. But if you treat people in a manner that you want to be treated, things tend to work out pretty good. So that's our style. No matter what the situation is, whether it's good or bad, we just treat people in a manner that we want to be treated, and we always try to take the high road in everything that we do.
So can you tell us something about yourself that we probably would never guess about yourself?
Well, one thing you probably wouldn't guess unless you knew me very well, just doing the business, I gained a lot of weight. I know these videos, I've been doing these videos here recently, and you see mini me, but I was big old me about 8 months ago. And so one thing you probably don't know, I exercise a lot. Like I was working out like 2 and 3 times a day, but usually now it's just once a day. So I jog like 3 miles a day, and I do a really good workout every day, most of the time, 7 days a week. And very rarely I take a day off, but that's an interesting fact.
Okay. And what exactly is probably your favorite thing to do to work out?
My favorite thing to do to work out is jogging. I love to run, and I was running anywhere between 3 to 10 miles a day, and to my knee just wasn't good. So I had to back off of that. So now I got a little routine where I jog like 1.5 miles. I do a workout and then jog 1.5 miles afterwards. So jog like 3 miles a day, usually 7 days a week. And that's what I do. That's how I kind of start my day.
Now, would you prefer to do your running and jogging on like a treadmill indoors or like an indoor track, or do you prefer to be outdoors if possible?
Well, I prefer to walk on water, No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, whether I jog on a treadmill or outside, it's all good.
If you had $1 million, what would be the first
I had $1 million cash, number one thing I would do before anything else, I thank God. That's number one thing. Number two thing I would probably do is look for some good real estate to purchase, and pretty much in that order. And then the number three thing, I'll probably, look for a charity to donate some of the money, in thankfulness. But I would thank God, number one. Number two, look to invest, and then look to donate some of the proceeds to a charity.
That's awesome. What do you feel that you and your company are doing to help change the world for the better, hopefully?
Well, the one thing I think that we're doing is with this path to home ownership, we have already placed, quite a few people in houses, just giving them the opportunity to buy a house. A lot of times people believe if they have bruised or damaged credit, or if they're not sitting on a ton of money, they can't buy a house. So it's a lot of different creative ways an investor can use in order to buy a house. And what you can do is just kind of leverage your knowledge and your capabilities to work with real estate agents, homeowners, buyers, and help buyers get into houses and help sellers sell houses that they traditionally probably wouldn't be able to sell. So that's one thing that we're doing. We're just trying to help out as many people as possible, and also just kind of continually looking for other avenues where we can reach out. Like, say, for example, through the social media is another avenue where we reach out to different people to connect with more people in other areas where we can help them start that path of home ownership. I think it's a beautiful thing, showing people, how they can buy a house regardless of their situation.
We definitely need that, especially in our society today. Can you tell us one or two maybe unique stories in which your company was able to do that for any of your buyers or anyone that might have been really, really struggling that kind of needed that?
Yes, I can tell you just a couple of good scenarios. One gentleman came to me, it's been a couple of years ago, and he's a military veteran. And his credit it was close, but he wasn't, quite there yet where he can qualify for a loan. But he's a military veteran. He was, not able to work. And he just got a lump sum payment. He didn't want that money just to go to waste. He wanted to put the money towards a home so he can pass down to his family. So I started working with him, and really quickly connecting with a mortgage lender, put him on a plan so he can, get his situation kind of turned around, and placed him in a house. And then he went on to get that house financed, and where he's a homeowner. Then I had another gentleman. I haven't spoken to this gentleman in a little while, but he's an assistant principal down in Indianapolis, and his wife was pregnant, and they were looking for a house, start a new family. And we looked at a couple different houses, but again, we got them in the program where they could get qualified. Theirs was really, really quick. Now, this is the rare, not the norm. Theirs was really, really quick. Pretty much was able to work with them and got them qualified within like a couple of months. So we made an offer on the property, extended it out for a while, give them the time to correct their situation, and got them into a very, very nice home so they can raise their newborn. He's an avid chess player too. We actually played chess during the right after the closing. We played a couple chess games. He's actually a chess coach. Like, he instructs kids. I'm like, wow, it was pretty fascinating. I really didn't want to play him, but he brought out the board, so I played him. I beat him on the first one. That was pretty cool. I beat him on the first one, and then on the second one he beat me. He wanted to do the tiebreaker. I was like, no, we just gonna leave it like that. So I can say that I beat a chess coach in chess.
There you go. Now, a little birdie told me something about you helping out a homeless man. Tell me a little bit about all that.
Yes, very, very early on when I was first started doing the lease options and land contracts. It was really, really early where I had the concept, as you can see from behind me, all the different degrees. That University of Toledo is on the other side. Usually when I get into something, it's not really the popular thing to do now, to kind of study instead of taking action. But just out of habit, I study. I study. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. This is awesome. We had the camera set up, folks. I'm just going to tell you, this is how we doing things. It's really off the cuff here. We had the camera set up for Instagram. We looking at the camera. I keep touching the screen to make sure it's good, right? But we never did go live. So welcome, Instagram. Welcome to the Wright Flow Show. We're not going to start over. We about halfway through it, but we just going to keep it rolling. But sorry for that. We will post a replay, and of course, you watch this live. Instagram, I appreciate all the love. I get a lot of attention from Instagram, even though I'm featuring YouTube. But by actually doing this, you kind of see what platform is giving you the most reach. And it seems like between the Facebook Live and the Instagram, where we're getting the most reach. But Instagram, welcome. And the question was, again, so we can repeat it for the Instagram. What was it?
The homeless.
Homeless. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, the homeless there. You helped them out.
Yes. I had a gentleman, we were working on a massive deal. It was right on the market that had already tanked. And this was supposed to be my comeback deal. Comeback deal was a big deal. I think it was like it was close to $1 million. And it was going to be a nice cut on it, but the deal fell apart. Well, I shouldn't say it fell apart. I had a lady that was involved in the deal that was trying to take me for a ride. That was very, very interesting. But she was successfully taking this gentleman for a ride. She got a lot of his money up front and just left the guy in a really, really bad spot, pretty much homeless spot. So these lease options, land contract deals that I just became privy of, I'm studying that stuff, working this deal, mainly working the deal and really studying, not really taking action on the lease option stuff, which I really don't recommend. But I knew the stuff cold. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know it could work. So of course, I could have just helped the guy out by giving him some money, but I just decided to teach him some like what I'm doing with these guys that signed up in the program, but a little bit more in depth with the gentleman that I went, because he was in real bad spot, man. He was actually giving up blood just to feed himself. So I kind of taught him the lease option techniques step by step, from acquiring the house, from getting the buyers and monetizing, right? And the guy, I guess we say the pain is so great, you got to really whether you had a decision whether to make a change or not, but you have a whole lot of pain, and the guy tell you to do something and it's supposed to help relieve that pain, you're going to go for it. And that's what he was doing, man. He took heed to the information and followed the information, and he was able to monetize it really, really quick, where he can get a hotel where he could, keep a roof over his head. So he didn't stop there. He kept going, and where, he got the hotel paid up for a couple of weeks. So he got a little stability going, and he kept going and kept flipping these lease option deals, where he was able to get himself an apartment. And, he just kept going until he just kind of turned the situation around. That was pretty good situation. I'm very proud of that guy, for taking the massive action. And it's all because of him. Only thing, I was just there to provide the information, but he took all the action and made it all happen. But that was a pretty cool thing.
The same thing can happen with you guys. Armand can teach you the same things he taught that guy, and move you up those steps wherever you're at in your life, wherever you need to be. He's got you there. So what would be your advice to the millennial generation? I guess technically I'm a millennial, but I will never claim that. Wow. Sorry.
Okay, the millennials. I mean, obviously, I would say you harness the tools that you just kind of been around for most of your life, like this social media. That can work really well as far as your marketing tools, and as far as with real estate, I would recommend, myself. I got some pretty cool real estate strategies, not only for millennials, but also, well, I guess for millennials, or whether you an investor or if you're a real estate agent, got it's a pretty cool process for real estate agents where you can monetize several different ways off of your real estate leads. So millennials, I mean, if you in school, I'm a big fan of, obviously, as you can see above my shoulder, I'm a big fan of college. So if you in college, I mean, I recommend you stay in school, get your degree, and kind of work this thing on the side. But the main thing I would say, if you were looking to get started in business, just find yourself a mentor and work out an agreement with them and just kind of follow the lead of the mentor. Even some of the very more successful people, they have mentors and they kind of follow their lead.
Awesome. On the topic of those mentors, can you tell us a little bit about maybe 2 or 3 mentors in your life and what they did to impact your life?
One, the mentor that I would, one that I, just take a lot of pride to talk about, which is my uncle, John L. Wright. My uncle, I've learned a lot from him early on, as far as even working environment, not working situations. My uncle is pretty much like a dad to me, He put me up on a lot of different things. So that's probably the most influential mentor of my life, far as professional wise, as far as learning these lease option deals and things like that. Gentleman by the name of Joe Crump. He's in Fishers, Indiana. He does, he teaches a method, still flipping lease options, but he called it the for rent method. He has like 3 buying events per year. He's an outstanding guy. He's one of the, well, I ain't gonna say one of, he is the best guy in the game as far as real estate investing. Is just his demeanor and everything. He's very patient, very, very good, upstanding guy. And his style works really, really well for me. There's another guy, but he don't like a lot of fame. He worked with Joe, so I'm not going to throw his name out there. He likes to stay in the background, but you know what I'm talking about if you happen to be watching this video. He's a beast. He worked right with Joe, helped develop a lot of the different things that Joe uses, and he's a beast. He's very high energy, really, really good dude. I'm not going to throw his name out there, but those 2 guys are pretty awesome. And then it's another guy that I network with, a gentleman named Claude Diamond. He's an old throwback in the game, but his style and his techniques is very, very effective. Those 3 guys are probably the most influential guys as far as in business for me.
And what's the one main thing that you learned from each of them that you have been able to implement in your business?
Well, going back into, I guess we start off with my uncle, my Uncle John. Pretty much, he's always been cool, calm, collective, no matter what the situation is. It's like I had an offbeat situation today, which probably the average person be like, show's canceled, fire, danger, Will Robinson. But, my uncle, no matter what's going on, he's always cool, calm, and collective, you know what I mean? So that's what I kind of take away from him. And then with Joe, just the lease options and the whole lease option, assigning the lease options. I mean, that's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful addition to the business. Prior to that, I was doing some wholesaling, which is nothing wrong with wholesaling, but that would usually been my, my go-to punch. I knew about lease option, but as far as assigning them over, didn't really have any experience with that. And Joe, the way he explained it, just made it simple and plain. And it's really the fastest way to make money in real estate. And that's what I get everyone to start off with, the signing lease options. It's just the best way to do the business. So I got that from Joe. And then my other guy that I'm not going to mention, he just kind of like, so you got techniques, you got things that you want to do. He just like put everything on like the fast track. He's a beast. So again, I'm not going to throw his name out there. But then Claude Diamond, actually, with Claude, even though I learned under Joe and learning all the different techniques under Joe. But with Claude, with the dialogue, right, that really would allow me to go full time because it kind of locked in on the focus. So I went from talking to a seller about doing a real estate deal to, with Claude, I always recommend you looking to get that deal done today and sell it today. And I had multiple situations where I grab a house today, put my marketing down, and man, I'll sell it tomorrow. So say, for example, you got a deal rolling, even if you made like $1,000 off the deal, you can make $1,000 in a 24-hour period, and you can do that a couple times a week, then you don't really need to hit a clock, right? So with Claude, just with that type of mindset, that's how I went, for everything. Everything was just, instant, somebody's waving. All Okay. Naptown. Naptown, what's happening? We're going to wave on back. Hey, I see a couple cousins in the house. Kenny Mitchell, Tony Arrington. Yeah, what's happening? Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, man. Share it, man. Share the video, man. Basically, what I'm looking to do, man, is just try to help as many people out as possible with the real estate business. And like I was talking about, these lease option, assigning these lease option deals over, it's the best way to make money in real estate. You can do them rather quickly. You can get them rather quickly. You can flip them rather quickly. And that's how I was able to start doing this stuff full time. And I was connected with an investor, and that helped things go a lot faster. But you just get in here and you just kind of get it going. I'm not going to sit up here and say this is easy or nothing like that, because I've been doing it for years. I had and then another thing too with the business, you have like the peaks and the valleys. You have sometimes where things are going really, really well. Then you have those times where things are not going so well. So what you have to do is a couple different things, like learning this stuff. How I break it down, learning this stuff is like 5%, because it's not a whole lot out there, but it's like learning is 5% enough. When I say learning enough to get you going. Now, the critical piece, which I had a problem with back in the crash, I had a couple problems back there. For one, I didn't know the lease option land contracts. That would have helped me stay afloat. But the other thing too, the 15% of it is money management. So like now, we had a really good run, a really good peak. And then when it kind of level off a little bit, if you manage your money right, you can kind of be good. But back in the day, I wasn't managing my money right. I let a lot of, I'm just going to go, since I do have relatives on here, I let a lot of relatives stay in properties without paying rent. And that's not a good recipe. That was a recipe for disaster. And that's what happened, Yeah, that was a recipe for disaster. So, yeah, money management, that's another key. So you got the 5%. If we're breaking this down on 100% pie, break it down a little bit. So you got the 5% is learning the business, the techniques and whatnot. And I say it's not a whole lot out there, but it's a lot of information, but you can quickly learn enough to get you started. So that'd be 5%, get you going. Then once you start making the money, you got to manage your money, right? So that'd be 15%. 15% is the money management. And what the 85% is, get that right? It was like 20%. Hold me collective. Hold me correct. Hold me right. Here we go. 80%. 80%. I'm starting to sweat up in here, man. It's hot outside, man. They got the heat on up in here, man. I know. What in the world? It's 63. It was 63. But at any rate, 80%, and this is what holds a lot of people back, man. The 80% is your mindset. That's why I taught us the Right Flow show. You got to get your mind right so you can get your money right. A lot of people are afraid, you know what I mean? They're afraid to make phone calls. We had a little conversation earlier about making a phone call. Quickly send out a text. Everybody wants to send out text, right? Hey, get on the phone. You want to put a deal together, get on the phone. Just like how, hey, Aunt, just like how Uncle John used to always say, well, he still say, that man put his pants on the same way you do. You know what I mean? You pick up the phone, you talk to that person, or you talk to that man or lady about putting the deal together. And then at the end of the day, it's all about us helping people. If you kind of look at it from that standpoint too, because these people have a problem, they're trying to sell their house. You can help solve that problem. So that, that's just kind of help you get over your fear. Water. Awesome. Thank you. Sam is awesome, man.
Hey, it's hot in here. We got to
drink hot in
water.
Here.
It's really hot.
Yes. Maybe we should place a little Nelly. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know the office store, but people walk up and down the hallway all day long.
Yeah.
All kinds of noise, and you don't want to hear that.
Right. But yeah, so a lot of people are afraid to get on the phone. I was just talking to an agent earlier today, and he was talking about the challenges of making phone calls. But just like Nike says, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. People gonna say no. I've been in the business for a while. I get a lot of people to say no. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Yeah, and this is how we roll through it. Just a little bit how we do through the business. Even Sam here, she picks up a lot of houses. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not saying that like as a good thing or bad thing. I'm saying what it is. You know what I mean? Prior to this, she wasn't picking up houses, and with some simple instructions, she picks up houses. You know, it's not hard. You just gotta push.
Digit houses, not just no cheaper ones either. So
Yeah, she get them all. You brush your sugar off. But anyway, but yeah, you just have to go through and do it, and you know, find a mentor, you know, somebody that you can kind of relate to. You know what I mean? And just kind of learn from them, and just kind of go. It's kind of progress like that. And that's one thing with Joe. You know, I just kind of I related to him, and pretty cool guy. His demeanor is kind of I've came across some other different real estate coaches, and they was just a little bit too abrasive. You know, some people like that, where a guy all in your face and, you know, talking all trash and stuff like that. That ain't my style. That's just it's not going to end too good. But you know, people that, you know, that's kind of like my style, you know, treat people in a manner that that you want to be treated, kind of patient with you. That's what I kind of resonated with Joe. And yeah, it worked out really, really well for me. I like my son. He was working with me for a while, and even him, he was good at picking up the houses. And actually, my youngest daughter, she the one that really started off really well, started selling houses. 14 years old, sold 6 houses, man. So
her stories on YouTube, check it out.
Yeah. She might not like that video. She happened to see this because she just went on an exercising kick and lost a bunch of weight. So she's the bigger girl here on YouTube. With all love, right? But anyway, then my other daughter, Mikhail, I mean, she came in and just with a little bit of training, just took off like a rock star. She probably, of the houses that we had within the last year or so, she filled the majority of them really, really quick. You know, they're really, really quick. And that's another thing too. You know, you learn this stuff. You just want to take fast action. You know, you just want to, you know, take fast action. Let's see. You got any more questions or anything? Okay, we didn't get any calls. You know, the goal was to get some calls in and answer the questions.
Y'all just don't want to talk to us.
But it's all good though. Again, it's the Wright Flow Show. Next week, tentatively next week, we're gonna have a guest on. Next week, real estate broker, agent, construction gentleman out of Michigan. He's gonna be on the show next week. So tentatively, that's going to happen next week. So we're going to, you know, stay tuned to next week. We're going to be coming right back at you with another episode of the Wright Flow Show. Until next week, talk soon. Thank you. All right, we're going to disable some of these cameras. Okay, and stream. Man, did we